You're hanging with Sher and Lil
And Liam.
downtown. We're here with Liam Kay of the Toronto Wolfpack, although he needs no introduction. Well, you were the first ever player signed for the first ever professional transatlantic rugby league team.
Yeah.
What made you, I guess, make that leap of faith, sign on with a team that hadn't been in existence yet?
I was at Lee before I was at Toronto, and time at Lee kind of come to an end, really. I would say I was looking for a kind of a new adventure, and then it was just by chance that this came up. It was Coach Paul Rowley before. I had him when I was at Lee, and I knew that I got along with him, and he asked me to come along. And at first, I'll be honest, it was quite scary, but I've been asked this question before, and people were like, well, what happened when you came out for your first match? And it was just like, well, I was expecting no one to come out, and then we came out for warm-up, and I was like, yeah, there's no fans turning up, and then all of a sudden, like 6,000-7,000 people turned up, so that's kind of when it was a bit of a relief when I jumped into, like I say, the leap of faith into the club. That was where the relief was.
So with you being the first player signed, you must have had a hand in other players signing on after you.
Maybe a little bit of an influence. A lot of the guys that came from Lee especially, my good friends as well, so maybe I had a bit of an influence on them, but they're their own people, and well, the reason I joined was for the adventure and something different in rugby, and that's probably the same reasons that them players joined as well.
Yeah. All right, so you've been here for 3 seasons now.
Yeah.
And I believe you've signed a contract extension?
I don't even know if I'm allowed to say.
Okay, well, I've read that you've.
No, I have. Yes, I've signed a 3-year extension. Yeah.
That's what I've read. Congratulations, we're really happy to hear that and have you here for another 3 years. What is it then about the team and the city of Toronto that would make you want to continue long term?
Well, this team, this year especially, is that the team is kind of it's matured, and we're a team now that I think can probably hold its own in Super League. And then onto the city itself, it's just, I've never experienced a winter here, but the summers are always good. So
you don't want to experience a winter
here?
No, believe me.
Maybe it'd change my mind. I'd probably rip the 3-year contract.
Maybe you could try it. Try it once.
No, I think like the coldest I've ever been is like, I don't know, like -10 or something, and you get like -30 a day. So
yeah, that's bold.
No, I'll pass.
Yeah, that's a good one. I wonder every year around November, why do I live here?
Yeah, no.
Any highlights that you've had while you've been in the city? Anything that you've seen, done?
I'll tell you what, nearly getting shot at the Raptors parade. That was an experience.
Oh, I bet.
I was like literally from me to you away. That was an experience.
You were that close to where it was?
Yeah, I was pretty close. I haul-assed straight down the street.
Did you hustle right over there?
Yeah, I got out of there, but that was an experience, although that's probably the bad experience I've ever had in the city. Apart from that, every day is just, you just walk out, you just see different people, different walks of life. It's a good city.
Nice. Well, there's lots of talk about traveling back and forth from the UK to Toronto and the toll it takes on players' bodies, physically, mentally. How have you found it? How's the team found it?
You get used to it to know what works for you. So like when I come to Toronto from the UK, that the day I land, I won't sleep, and I'll try and stay awake for as long as I can, just to try and get my body to shut down when I go to sleep, rather than wake up at 3 a.m. or whatever it is. And then when I go home, I'll just nap through the day, and then I'll try and have a big sleep that night, and obviously sleep on the plane on the way home. You get used to what works for you. Don't get me wrong, it still takes you maybe 2 to 3 days to fully get back in your routine, but if you know what you're going to be doing, you can kind of prepare yourself, eat all the right stuff and things like that, and just prepare your body for jet lag.
I guess there's no way around it, right?
No. For the travelling teams, I suppose, well, especially the last 3 years where they come out on the Thursday, I guess they don't give the bodies that chance to get maybe jet lagged. I don't know. Could
they come earlier, or do they choose to arrive on Thursday?
I think once we're in Super League, I think the teams will probably start coming earlier in the week, probably similar time to us. You got to think these guys we're playing against in the Championship. A lot of them have day jobs, and
correct,
a lot of them part time. So you can't expect them to drop work and money just to come to Toronto and play. So we know that and respect that from the other teams. But if we're in Super League next year,
when?
when on if. Them teams I expect will probably come out earlier and prepare properly. Yeah.
Can you take us through what does your weekly schedule look like in preparation for a game?
So I'll give you this week's schedule. So on Monday we trained, and today we've trained. So when we train, we'll have gym in the morning. So we'll get gym around maybe 10, 11 o'clock. Obviously, if you need physio, you've got that before. And then we have field practice at Lamport at 1 o'clock. And then we'll get tomorrow off, and then we'll train probably a light session on Thursday. We'll still do gym, and then we'll have like a little bit of a lighter session on the field, and then Friday we call it captain's run, which is just basically we just refreshers memory of the game plan, what we're going to do, and just probably on the field for 20-30 minutes.
So it's a short one.
Yeah, we don't do the gym on a Friday. We only lift 3 times a week, so and then we're ready for the game Saturday.
All right. Now, what about you personally? Do you do any extra weight training or anything?
No, not at this stage of the season. No, I just chill out really. I don't do anything.
Nice.
I eat pizza or pasta the night before. That's about it.
Oh, I was going to ask you, is that your like pre-game?
Yeah, I just
type
got
of thing?
a carb load really the night before. So I mean the previous 2 years I was religious on having a Domino's pizza every night.
It had to be Domino's?
Every
This
Friday.
is a good commercial. Are you for hire for Domino's?
Yeah. Well, it got to the point I was ordering that much at the George Brown. The guys tried getting me sponsored by it. But nah, I've got onto eating pasta and pizza as well now. So I kind of carb load up and fatten up on a Friday night, and then get ready for the game.
Do you eat anything before the game?
No,
Like a light thing even in the
I'll just
morning?
have like a little breakfast, maybe like a banana or something like that, and then because we play early, right? We play at 1 o'clock, so if I eat as much as I can the night before, I can have like a light breakfast and I'm ready.
So last season, you suffered a fairly serious injury.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that, and then maybe talk a little bit about your recovery?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still recovering now, really. I broke, I think it was 3 bones in my foot, and I did my syndesmosis ligament in my ankle, which is like one of the main ligaments. Initially, I thought I wouldn't be out too long.
Right.
I spoke to my specialist, and he was like, "Oh, I want to try and like rehabilitate it naturally first before I do anything," which I was keen for. I got to the stage where I was doing, some squatting and weights through it. It was fine. And then once I went on an Alter G machine, one of them is. It's like an anti-gravity treadmill.
okay.
So you sit in it and it blows you up, and obviously you can determine how much body weight you have on it. And I got like up to 100%. So then the next step was running on the field, and just as soon as I started running on the field, it just didn't feel right, my ankle. So I spoke to Johnny, the physio. He sent me back for some more scans, and then the specialist was like, "Okay, right, we're gonna have to operate on it then." So if I'd have just done that in the first place, I'd have been back a lot sooner. But I ended up being out for like 9 months or something, which was a pain because I got back to the stage where I was running, and then it kind of just like shot me down and start again kind of thing. So it was a bit frustrating, but.
I remember talking to you just before the £1 Million game, and you were like, "Yeah, I want to get in. I'm ready to get in." And then it was I can't.
No, I actually put my hand up to play.
I remember
I
that,
told Paul I wanted to play, like just jab it up and then, put some painkilling injections in, and I'll just play and then worry about it after because I'd be desperate to play in that game.
Yeah.
But I think he was more concerned about my health.
Which is what you want in a coach, right?
Yeah, but
you want him to be, but yes, understandable that you want to be there. And
You want to play in a
help out
game
the
that's
team
the most important game of
right?
the year. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, nah, I had to deal with it. It was hard to watch it if you didn't have an influence on the game.
Yeah.
But let's not talk about that anymore.
Yeah, I know. Under the bridge,
Yeah,
water
under
under
the
the
bridge.
bridge. So, as we talked about earlier, you were the first ever player with the Toronto Wolfpack.
Yeah.
So that means that you were the first ever man bun with the Toronto Wolfpack.
Yeah.
The OG.
I'm setting trends now.
Right. Well,
Wow.
they all came after you.
Actually, unofficially, Dicko had long hair before me, Andrew Dixon.
But did he have the man bun? You must
He
have.
actually
You must have.
braided it, yeah. But I don't, yeah. No.
Okay, we're gonna give
He
him
had it.
props. Okay, we're gonna give him props.
Yeah, it's a special mention.
And, yeah.
It's a special mention.
You're not ready to give up
No,
the
I'm
title.
not ready to give it up now. Now we've got Annie Mullally, Ashton. We've got Nick Rawsthorne, who's growing his hair.
You think it's going to make it into a man bun?
He's fully committed, yeah. He's in the in-between stage now where I was, where he's wearing a headband. So he's getting close. We've got
Ladies
Hakeem.
and gentlemen, wait for that. Wait
Yeah.
for that. Nick Frosthorn.
Yeah. Hakeem Malouda. He's trying to grow his hair, but he's he just keeps getting it cut. So I think he's not understanding how to get long hair when he keeps getting it cut.
I was never a fan of the man bun
Oh, really?
until Liam K came around with the man bun.
Why? Did you ever see me? You've ever seen me with short hair? No.
I think I've seen a picture.
Yeah, I used to have like really short hair, like similar to like Matty Russell, and then I just decided to grow it, and there you
All
go.
right.
Sweet.
Thanks, Liam.
No
Appreciate
worries.
it.
All good.